Kayfabe Hey Radio with my recap and review of AEW Dynamite for April 17th, 2024. Dynasty Go Home Show. Jon Moxley kicks off the show. He's the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. He talks about all the travel he's put in over the years. He says all the travel has finally led to this. He hypes up what AEW is while standing there as the New Japan Champion, which is kind of contradictory, but okay. He brings up the Don Callis family. He tells them if they mess with the BCC, he's coming for them. He then mentions literal crimes as a way to get even with them, talking about running them over and such, with a vehicle. He's not like, I'm gonna run you over, like, as in like dominate you in a match. He literally meant with a vehicle. He then challenges Will Hobbs for next week. Opening match of the show: Adam Copeland and Willow Nightingale versus Julia Hart and Brody King. Before the match starts, we see Willow laid out in the back. Clearly Chris Statlander. We know it's all leading to that anyway. Anyway, lights go out. Brody King jumps Adam Copeland to start the match. Throws him into the guardrail. Falls out the crossbody into the guardrail as well, while he's sitting in a chair. Copeland beats the 10 count back in. Brody works Adam over. Willow still hasn't appeared. Copeland fights out of a superplex. Connects off the top. He's got nobody to tag. Big boot in the corner. And Impaler. DDT from Copeland. Both men down. Willow finally arrives. Willow tags in, but Julia Hart hits her with a chain and pins her, and it's over. Copeland was actually doing better without Willow there. So Willow just sort of cost him the match. Sorry. Not a bad opener. Could have been better though. Samoa Joe, backstage interview before his title defense at Dynasty. He says Swerve isn't a champion, he's a punching bag. He says Swerve loses every title shot he gets and calls him a choke artist. He ends the interview by saying he will choke out the choke artist. Next match, the Young Bucks and Okada versus Pac, Penta, and Daniel Garcia. Nick Jackson gets the advantage on Penta because Okada got involved. Garcia gets the upper hand briefly on Nick until Okada gets involved again. It's basically just been the Young Bucks wrestling, and Okada gets involved whenever they get in trouble, and they just regain the advantage. Quick tags in and out as the Elite dominate Daniel Garcia. Daniel fights his way out of trouble, gets the hot tag to Pac. He wipes out the Bucks inside and outside the ring with dives and stuff. Kicks, strikes, yeah. Again, Okada gets involved to get the advantage back. His main job in this match is just, we're in trouble, help us. Penta tags in, does his usual move, spreads his usual moveset across the Elite, sling blades and drop kicks and such. Okada and the Bucks hit a BTE trigger Rainmaker combo on Daniel Garcia for the win. Just another predictable match, predictable outcome. An AEW 6-man, so you know all hell's gonna break loose at some point. That was that. Up next, Jericho and Hook come to the ring for a chit chat. Jericho says he didn't pull Hook off the apron to screw Shibata. He did it because he felt Hook wasn't listening. Kind of a lame excuse. Couldn't you just talk to the guy? Anyway, he calls himself the Learning Tree. He gives examples of guys he's helped, even though out of the guys he listed, only 2 guys that technically got help. The rest sort of just dwindled after feuding with Jericho. He tells Hook to enter the Jericho Vortex. Taz tells Jericho to calm down. Chris shoves him. Hook runs Jericho into the corner and demands he leave the ring. Jericho hesitates, but then exits the ring. I'm not sure what this was, to be honest with you. Just sort of a waste of 8 minutes, but it did set up Jericho versus Hook for the FTW title at Dynasty, so I guess there's that as a positive. Up next, Deonna Purrazzo versus Mariah May. Mariah shoves Deonna off the top to the floor. Toni Storm steps on her, so it goes black and white because Toni Storm's in the frame. Mariah starts toying with Deonna. They trade strikes until Purrazzo attempts an armbar. There's a botched powerbomb. I think Mariah was supposed to land on her feet. Deonna with a sunset flip and a 3 count. Quick match. Didn't really do anything for either person. Toni Storm was there, so I guess that's a plus. Post match, Thunder Rosa comes out, gets the upper hand on Toni and rubs makeup all over her face, paint and such. Up next, Orange Cassidy, Shane Taylor. Orange starts the match with his hands in his pockets, gets some offense in. Shane hits a draping stunner. That looks pretty cool. Shane Taylor dominates, but Orange keeps rolling out of the ring. They go to a wide shot of the crowd, who don't really seem to care. Orange gets hit with a big lariat. He hits an orange punch suddenly and wins. Post-match, they lay out Orange Cassidy. Daniels and Seidel come to make the save, but Trent Beretta's there to stop that with a chair, and he just stops and stares at Orange Cassidy, who's lying in the ring. Now, the main event of the evening, which was the match I was most excited for, and the only reason I really cared about this show, Claudio Castagnoli versus Will Ospreay. Ospreay with chops, but he gets halted with an uppercut. Ospreay then hits the Hurricane Rana, and they go to the floor. Claudio tries to throw Ospreay into the rail, but Ospreay jumps over the rail, then springboards back, and hits a forearm. He rolls Claudio back in the ring. Will attempts another springboard into the ring, but Claudio hits the rope, and Ospreay comes crashing down. Claudio stomps on Ospreay quite a bit in the corner afterwards. Ospreay hits a double rotation head scissor, sending Claudio to the floor. I think Excalibur referred to this as deja vu. Anyway, Will shoots over the ropes, but he's caught and slammed on the ring apron. They stand and trade forearms once they're back in the ring. Brief chin lock to slow things down, which is good. This was so fast-paced it was hard to keep notes at times. Ospreay gets the upper hand with a handspring spin kick. Ospreay hits a haluva kick and phenomenal forearm for a near fall. Over in the other company, those are two finishing moves of pretty well-known guys. So apparently, there's no way Claudio would lose to Sami Zayn or AJ Styles. They both trade very ugly sharpshooters. I don't think Ospreay knew how to properly put it on, and then Claudio had to counter Ospreay's into his own, so it wasn't looking good at all. Ospreay super kick and tiger driver for a 2 count. Multiple Stormbreaker attempts, but Claudio counters with like 20 uppercuts. Really fast back and forth. A lot of counters at this point. Will goes for an Os cutter, but he's caught and planted with a burning hammer for a near fall. Honestly thought that could have been it, but there's no way Ospreay loses this match, right? Pop-up uppercut, but Ospreay kicks out. Will counters a giant swing into a DDT. Hits a gorgeous corkscrew splash, then the hidden blade for the win. What a match, honestly. This was a pay-per-view quality match. I really enjoyed this. I recommend going and watching it. Very, very good match. Danielson Ospreay is going to be really good, but honestly, this match is hard to top. This was incredible. After the match, the Don Callis family beat down Claudio, but Moxley makes the save and beats everybody up. Ospreay looks very, very mad at the Don Callis family for even doing this. The final segment of the show, which actually started at 10:01, so already over time, Swerve's out for the final promo for his world title match with Joe Sunday. He says last week Joe looked scared, and he calls him out. Joe comes down, but there's like eight security people holding him back. Swerve dives onto all of them, wiping them all out, and it's just Joe and Swerve standing. The fight begins. Joe hits a muscle buster and leaves Swerve laying before the pay-per-view. He's standing over him, holding the title up, and Dynamite goes off the air. Pretty good go-home show overall. Got me excited for the pay-per-view. Great card for the pay-per-view. My predictions will be out soon. Yeah, overall, a better Dynamite than recently. We had a lot of bad shows lately. This one was good. Ospreay Claudio really saved it. Like I said, pay-per-view quality match. Go out of your way to see that one. And that was my review of AEW Dynamite for April 17th, 2024. And this has been K-Fave Hayes Radio.